that I like to do. That way I can't straighten my hands out when I'm 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You'll be really good at opening jars.
That's right. That's right.
So let's move on and let's read a citation. This gentleman here is our honorary mention for the day. He is First Lieutenant. I just saw his name. Lieutenant Ogden Carlos. So Carlos Ogden, First Lieutenant with the U.S. Army, Company K, 314th Infantry, 79th Infantry Division. So, on 25 June 1944, near Fort de Roule, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, guarding the approaches to Cherbourg, France, First Lieutenant Ogden's company was pinned down by fire from a German 88mm gun and two machine guns. Arming himself with an M1 rifle, a grenade launcher, and a number of rifle and hand grenades, he left his company in position and advanced alone, under fire, up the slope towards the enemy emplacements. Struck on the head and knocked down by a glancing machine gun bullet, First Lieutenant Ogden, in spite of his painful wound and enemy fire from close range, continued up the hill. Reaching a vantage point, he silenced the 88mm gun with a well-placed rifle grenade, and then with hand grenades knocked out the two machine guns, again being painfully wounded. First Lieutenant Ogden's heroic leadership and indomitable courage in alone silencing these enemy weapons inspired his men to greater effort and cleared the way for the company to continue the advance and to reach its objectives. So here's this LT running up a hill, carrying God knows what in his hands. We know he's got an M1 rifle and a grenade launcher. But God knows what else he's got.
Could you imagine what was going through his head?
Running up a hill towards the enemy emplacements, and he gets struck in the head by a glancing machine gun bullet. And his answer to this is to say, to hell with that, I'm still running up a hill.
Right.
And so he takes off running up the hill again and manages to knock out two machine gun crews and a 88mm gun by himself. That's pretty dadgum heroic. And you know that it doesn't say here when or if he is passed, if he's deceased. But you and I both know that if he made it home, his mama looked at him and said, "I always told you had a hard head, son."
Yeah, probably. Probably.
So let's throw this out here for y'all. So we, after talking about Lieutenant Ogden, we all know that veterans see some pretty traumatic stuff, and sometimes they have difficulty adjusting to it all and getting back into the swing of civilian life. That being said, if you're struggling, or if you know a veteran that is struggling, you can call 1-800-273-8255 and press option 1 to speak with the Veterans Crisis Line. You can also go to veterancrisisline.net and chat with them online, or you can text 838-255 and they'll communicate with you via text. You're not in this alone. We have managed to get the number to drop from 22 on average veteran suicides per day down to 21. We need to get that number to 0. There's no reason why a veteran should feel so alone in this world that their only option is to commit suicide. So if you know somebody, or if yourself or you're struggling, reach out. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255 and press option 1. Or you can go to veterancrisisline.net and they can chat with you online, or you can text 838-255 and somebody will get you some help.
I was going to say, since it's 3 things to try and remember, I was going to say type them here in that chat. That way anybody who feels like they need that information, they can screenshot it and have it on hand.
I will do that right now. You keep talking to people. See what you did?
Shoot. So, I was actually going to say this before you ended it, too. So, if you're a veteran and you're listening, I want to thank you personally for your service. And the sacrifices you and your family made for this country mean a lot to me and so many other people. And that was going to be my big exit, so I don't know what to say after that.
That was your big exit, huh?
Yeah, it was you're supposed to imagine like fireworks and like doves flying from behind me.
Oh, okay. All
me
right.
crawling into a limo after walking on a red carpet. It was supposed to be huge.
Oh,
Right.
okay. Well, that's the beauty of the socially distanced America is nobody gets to experience that with you now. You're in your own little world.
Yep.
So, good job. So, each week, there's that we do the show here. If there's any recent service member deaths, I'd like to mention their name and honor them. Right now, Fairfax County Police in Northern Virginia and the Army Criminal Investigation Command are investigating the death of Command Sergeant Major Eric M. Schmitz. He was the top enlisted soldier for the Army's Intelligence and Security Command, and he died suddenly on Tuesday. So please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers, and please pray for the strength and peace that's necessary to traverse such a difficult time as this. We also have a Fort Hood soldier was found. I apologize. That is an old article that popped up for some reason.
Never trust technology, Dad.
I know, right? So today we only have the sergeant major that I was able to locate as a recent death within the military community. Within active duty that they're talking about in the press in a way. We all know that we lose veterans every day, that we lose service members every day. Please keep their families and the ones that they left behind in your thoughts and prayers. I can tell you that losing a battle buddy is never an easy thing, and it never has gotten easier. So just pray for their strength and their wisdom to make it through the challenging times that they have in front of them. One last little bit of news. Well, we won't get into that. We won't get into that.
That sounded spontaneous and very scary.
Well, it's a very controversial topic that I don't want to reserve to just 2 minutes.
Right.
So we won't get into that. We'll wait and see what the outcome is and then discuss it.
Oh, I just read the headline.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
How about we don't get into that right now?
Yeah. So, all right, folks. We are nearing the end of our show. I'd like to thank Travis for being willing to come on here and tolerate me probing his mind. And
thanks for having me, Pop.
And I'd like to thank those great citizens of our country, and well, you don't have to be a citizen to serve. So those servicemen and women out there that are putting themselves on the front line, so that those of us that are no longer serving and those families that we got back here at home are nice and safe and can lay comfortably each night under the blanket of security that you provide. I'd also, with all the hatred being thrown towards law enforcement these days, I'd also like to say that thank you for what you do to all the first responders, whether you're EMT, firefighter, law enforcement, military, whatever realm you're in. If you are a first responder, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the hard work that you have put in throughout this entire virus and protest and riots. Your dedication to your job is not go unnoticed, and I'm eternally grateful for you and your family's sacrifice during these troubling times. Keep your head up and know that there are people like myself out there that have got your six.
I got y'all.
And we love y'all and we thank y'all. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. And please use common sense. And don't get tangled up in any foolishness. So, that being said, I will exit out. So y'all have a wonderful evening and an excellent weekend. Don't forget, I believe it's next weekend, is July 4th. Is it? Let me double check my calendar, because I am getting old and I don't know what day it is anymore.
Yeah, that makes two of us, except I'm young. So not necessarily next weekend, but 2 weekends from now will be.
Hold on.
Wait.
So we have.
Yeah, next weekend.
Yes, next weekend. And we will not be doing our show on Thursday, the 2nd, as I have to travel to New York. My dear Aunt Betty had passed, and we are doing her funeral services. So we will not be having a show on Thursday, the 2nd. So I look forward to seeing all of you on Thursday, the 9th. So that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful Independence Day. Don't forget what it's about, and don't forget those who have laid their life down so that we could have such a blessed day in our nation.
America.
Y'all have a good night.